Now to the Human Settlement Indaba at the Birchwood Hotel and talk to our reporter Nothando Magudelela. She's live for us there. Hey Nothando, very good morning to you. What is this Indaba all about?
Morning, Blaine. We are here at the Birchwood Hotel. As we know that there is a lack of affordable housing in South Africa, which is a well-documented problem. And we have seen in the recent reports that in South Africa, we have taken to the streets to protest about against the living conditions, land and housing. With me here to tell us more about the Human Settlement Indaba, I have the spokesperson of Housing Development, Xolani. Xolani, thank you so much for being with us. Please tell us what this Indaba is about.
Nothando, this Indaba comes at a time when government has just approved the medium-term strategic framework, which is the planning document for the next 5 years, the current term of this government. And in that document, we have targets that needs to be met by the government, and we've called the public this Indaba here today with all our stakeholders. That includes the private sector, civil society, and everybody who's involved in the human settlements development space, and to say to them we have these targets that need to be met, and we need their partnerships in order for us to be able to achieve the targets that are set. So this Indaba is to map out a way forward, to agree on outcomes, to agree on the kind of activity and things that private sector would have to do for us to be able to meet the targets that are set out, and also to agree what civil society is going to be bringing to the table, to also agree in terms of how do we then deal with the impediments that the private sector sometimes find themselves having to deal with when they come to doing business with government. So we have everybody here and to discuss those things and to come up really with that agreement in terms of what it is that will be achieved at the end of this current term of government. So it's a big meeting for us. The minister has called everybody and everybody is here to make sure that we engage, and you will know that the Minister of Cooperative Governance is also here, Minister Dlamini Zuma, and to look at the whole notion of the district development model. How do all the sector partners in the department or in the sector club together to make sure that development is achieved through that model? So we'll be sharing ideas. We'll most importantly to come up with outcomes that are going to be binding to all the sector, and a commitment, in making sure that we achieve what we need to achieve. Because government has realized that there is nothing that we can do on our own. We need these partnerships, and the private sector and the civil society and everybody else who's involved needs to put their shoulder to the wheel.
Please tell us what are the main priorities that the government is looking at?
Look, in terms of our 5-year strategic framework, we have to deliver about 300,000 about 300,000 informal settlements within the next 5 years, and that is informal settlements that are scattered throughout the country. We have to build what we call finance-linked individual subsidy programs, which is your affordable housing across the country. We have to make sure that about 470,000 so-called low-cost houses are built. We have to make sure that we deal with the backlog that is there in our Title Deeds program. We have to make sure that services are delivered everywhere.
Thank you so much for your time. Well, that is it from us. Blaine, back to you in studio.
All right, Nothando there. Thank you very much indeed for your reporting. We'll try to come back to you a little later on to find out the very latest with regards to this Indaba. Nothando Magudelela there, live for us in Kempton Park.